Good evening. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Welcome to BMC News Live in English, brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. I am Vinod Narayan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. Bahrain's gender balance experience highlighted. Bahrain welcomed signing of US-mediated Lebanon-Israel maritime border demarcation agreement. More than 20,000 registered to attend Pope Francis Mass in Bahrain. Saudi's largest driving school to come up in Makkah soon. At UN Climate Summit, India to flex its negotiating muscles. News in detail. Bahrain's gender balance experience highlighted. The Secretariat General of the Supreme Council for Women reviewed the experience of the Kingdom of Bahrain in launching and developing a national model for the governance of gender balance applications in line with global requirements related to the empowerment of women while taking into account the specificity of the Bahraini society. This came during the participation of Supreme Council for Women Gender Balance Director Rania Ahmed Al-Jarf in a forum held in Oman under the theme Omani Women and Indicators of Economic and Knowledge Empowerment within Oman's Vision 2040, marking Oman Women's Day. The forum, in which participants from the Gulf and Arab countries took part, shed light on the Arab experiences in this field. A work paper was also presented on Bahrain Gender Balance Model that aims to guarantee a real and sustainable integration of Bahraini women in the development process. Bahrain welcomed signing of US-mediated Lebanon-Israel maritime border demarcation agreement. The Kingdom of Bahrain has welcomed the signing of the agreement by the Republic of Lebanon and the State of Israel on the demarcation of the maritime borders between the two countries, which was mediated by the United States of America. The Kingdom further expresses its hope that this historic agreement would constitute a positive opportunity to further benefit from the natural resources of oil and gas between the two countries. The Foreign Affairs Ministry said in a statement, it also confirms the importance of dialogue and common understanding in settling disputes and promoting security, stability, and regional peace and the citizens' rights to prosperity and sustainable development, the statement added. His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad participated in a meeting of presidents of GCC Olympic committees. First Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, General Sports Authority Chairman and Bahrain Olympic Committee President, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa led Bahrain's delegation to the 34th meeting of the Presidents of the Olympic Committees of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The meeting was held at the premises of the GCC Secretariat General here today under the chairmanship of the member of the Board of Directors of the Saudi Olympic and Paralympic Committee, Chairman of the Saudi Arabian Federation of Motor and Motorcycle Sports, His Royal Highness Prince Khalid bin Sultan bin Abdullah Al Faisal. On the occasion, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad expressed thanks and appreciation to the Saudi leadership, government and people for the warm welcome and hospitality, commending the efforts exerted by the Saudi Olympic Committee, led by Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, to prepare for the meeting. More than 20 registered to attend Pope Francis Mass in Bahrain. More than 20,000 people have registered to attend Pope Francis' public Mass during his landmark tour of Bahrain next week. Church authorities have said that while the registration system remains open, they cannot guarantee seats after the October 25 noon deadline passed. More than 17,000 people have registered from Bahrain. The number of Saudi Arabia is 2,900, Kuwait 470, Qatar 144, UAE and Oman 191, and 433 from other countries. Tickets will be issued later for the 28,000 capacity Bahrain National Stadium, the venue for the public Mass on November 5th. The data uploading will be continued as long as the system is open. If the data upload is successful, participants will be notified on email and receive an invitation for applying for a ticket, said the Director of Communications at the Apostolic Vicariate of Southern Arabia. Updates have been released on security and transport arrangements. The first buses will leave the Bahrain International Circuit at 3 a.m., where attendees have been asked to assemble more than 5 hours before the public Mass begins at the Bahrain International Stadium at 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, November 5th. The stadium gates will be shut at 7 a.m. Organizers said on Thursday. Security counters will open at 2 a.m. at the circuit. Organizers have asked people to get there on time to complete security checks. The elderly, people with special needs and caregivers will gather at the Polytechnic parking near the Bahrain Polytechnic, located about 3 kilometers north of the stadium. Special buses will transport them to a designated area in the stadium after security procedures are complete. Those with VIP tickets must also head to the Polytechnic parking, where shuttle buses will take them to the venue. Everyone attending the mass must carry valid tickets and national identity cards for passports used for registration. People can carry small quantities of food and will find light refreshments placed at their seats. A list of prohibited items has also been published. Muslim Council of Elders to hold its 16th regular meeting in Bahrain on November 4th. The Muslim Council of Elders will hold its 16th periodic meeting in Bahrain on November 4th under the chairmanship of its chairman, His Eminence Grand Imam Sheikh of Al-Azhar, Dr. Ahmad Al-Taib. The meeting will discuss a number of urgent and pressing issues of the Islamic nation, as well as ways to support vulnerable Muslim communities and Muslim communities in the West, in addition to the humanitarian crisis at the global level and humanitarian challenges. It will also discuss the role of religious leaders in facing the climate change crisis, as well as ways to enhance dialogue among various schools in Islamic thought, Islamic-Christian relations, and support for interfaith dialogue initiatives. Ways to confront attempts to impose some behaviors that contravene human nature on Islamic people, in addition to attempts to undermine religious values and destabilize the concept of family among youth groups will also be on the agenda of the 16th meeting of the Muslim Council of Elders in Bahrain. On the occasion, President of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Sheikh Abdurrahman bin Muhammad Al Khalifa, affirmed that His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and his loyal people welcome the meeting and are keen to support its outcomes, based on Bahrain's principled belief in the importance of coexistence in bringing about peace and fostering human fraternity. Today's COVID updates. COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers. Now we will be back after a very short break. The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahla. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering.
Welcome back. Saudi reported alarming increase in divorce rates, 7 cases every hour. Saudi Arabia has reported an unprecedented increase in divorce rates with 168 cases happening every day, an average of 7 cases every hour, local media reported. The Saudi General Authority for Statistics has revealed that 57,595 divorce decrees were issued during the last few months of 2020, an increase of 12.7% compared to 2019, while social media platforms emerged as a main reason for the increase. So the lawyer Dakil Al-Dakil said that the number of divorce cases rose significantly during the last 10 years, specifically since 2011, from early 9,233 cases in 2010 to 34,000 in 2011. Divorce cases continued to rise in the following years, reaching 57,000 cases in 2020. These year's reports indicated that there are 7 divorce cases every hour in the kingdom. Saudi's largest driving school to come up in Makkah soon. Under the supervision of the General Directorate of Traffic, the biggest driving school in Saudi Arabia will soon be established in Makkah. The driving school project will be implemented in an area of more than 200,000 square meters. The project will be completed within 8 months from the start of its implementation. The school will not only teach driving ordinary cars for daily use, but will also train professional drivers of vehicles that require special skills, such as ambulances, police, and firefighting vehicles, noting that this will be through special training tracks. There will be special training tracks for motorcycles, taxis, buses, and light and heavy transport trucks. Abu Dhabi eased COVID-19 restrictions at malls and events. In further relaxation of COVID-19 precautionary measures, the use of EDE and thermal scanners at commercial and tourist establishments and events has been stopped in Abu Dhabi. However, the Green Pass on Al Hassan app continues to be a requirement to enter most public places, including shopping malls in the UAE capital. EDE scanners, a facial scanning technology used to detect virus infections, had been placed in entrances since last year. Thermal scanners detect human body temperature, which is a common symptom of COVID-19 infection. Flooding in West and Central Africa displaced 3.4 million people. The UN's refugee agency said Friday that destruction from flooding has displaced more than 3.4 million people in West and Central Africa, the Associated Press reported. UNHCR said Friday that Nigeria's worst floods in a decade have killed hundreds, displaced 1.3 million residents, and affected over 2.8 million people in the West African nation of 218 million. Survivors had to scurry for higher grounds as water submerged farmland and infrastructure. Many have been living in camps for the internally displaced that were set up in part to help people fleeing simmering violence in the region, among other troubles. The agency noted that the government in Chad, where floodwaters affected more than 1 million people, has declared a state of emergency. Floods also have killed hundreds of people and displaced thousands in Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, UNHCR said. The downpours in West Africa contrast with the worst drought in 40 years in the Horn of Africa. Shanghai district ordered mass COVID-19 testing and lockdown. China's largest city of Shanghai is ordering mass testing Friday on all 1.3 million residents of its downtown Yangpu district and confining them to their homes at least until results are known. The Associated Press reported the demand is an echo of measures ordered over the summer that led to a 2-month lockdown of the entire city of 25 million that devastated the local economy, prompting food shortages and rare confrontations between residents and the authorities. At the start of the lockdown, authorities said they would last just days but then kept extending the deadline. Strict measures have been imposed across the country, from Shanghai in the east to Tibet far to the west, where anti-lockdown protests have also been reported. At a UN climate summit, India to flex its negotiating muscles. As countries gathered in Scotland were crystallizing their pledges at last year's United Nations Climate Conference, India used its might to intervene. Along with China, India took issue with the draft deal suggestion to phase out coal, preferring the wording phase down. The Associated Press reported, after much back and forth hurried discussions between leaders, Bhupendra Yadav, India's Minister for Environment, Forests and Climate Change, read out the final version. It said that nations should work towards a phase down of coal power. The intervention was, for India's government, a success. Now the country is expected to exercise its influence yet again to look out for its own interests at the upcoming UN climate conference in Egypt, known as COP27. On new IT rules, India's Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology said mission to make Internet open, safe and trusted. Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar on Saturday said the government's mission is to make the Internet open, safe and trusted with the amended information technology rules that came into effect on Friday. Chandrasekhar, a Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology, said intermediaries of social media platforms will have to ensure that no unlawful content is posted online, adding that the Internet can't be a party to deliberate misinformation. His statement also assumes significance to the wake of the recent acquisition of Twitter by Elon Musk, who has spoken of his plans to have fewer limitations on the content posted online. This has triggered concerns that dialogue on the platform, which occurred in a $44 billion deal, may deteriorate amid no deterrence on bullying and harassment faced online. Rajiv Chandrasekhar said the new rules address the gaps that existed earlier, underlining that intermediary platforms cannot be misused to upload criminal, illegal, insightful content and misinformation. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.